Coming to the green flag here for round number 21 of the 2023 FBRL Hardee's National Series season. It's the second to last race of the year. 2 drivers left in the championship. They sit back there in row number 2, but it's Nick Breeding on pole position alongside Jeff James. Green flag out here in Atlanta. Nick Breeding clears through turns 1 and 2. As the 4th Jeff James now battles with Corey Williams for second, but the 14th Corey Williams with a push from Brandon Beal makes a move for the lead here at Atlanta, looking to lead lap number 1. Breeding leads the first lap after a good run off at turn 4. The middle and outside are very usable lanes here, but the bottom is still going to be the preferred line for most of the field. Breeding on the outside with the 14 of Corey Williams below. Breeding with good run on the outside with a draft from Jeff James. He still leads here, but they are packed tight together here. Atlanta here in the opening laps. Chase Marks went 4 wide. He backed out of it, slammed the brake, went all the way to the apron to try and avoid an accident here. And he's going to lose a lot of positions. He's going to fall from 16th all the way down to outside the top 30. But Marks making a business decision. He did not want to risk a wreck. So I think he did the right thing. He's going to have some work to do to make up the ground lost. But with how tight and packed together this field is, if you're going to lose positions, now is kind of the time, not when things get spread out. Here's Brad Stover in the number 36. Some interesting changes over Young Motorsports as in an effort to ensure that the team qualifies for the final races here in the Hardee's National Series, they have moved Brad Stover over to the 36 so that he can use the provisionals if necessary for the Young Motorsports team so that they can get into the race with the entry list getting so small. Basically, the 36 just has to show up and they're locked in for the rest of the season. They had to use a Provo to get in this week. So far, Stover has picked up a spot. He's now battling the 88 of Zachary DeLillo for 37th. As Stover takes the position. Oh boy, we got some 3 wide here as Voiles and Collins get together on the straightaway here. Little rubbing as they're 3 wide. And look at this pack here. Not too surprising. We usually get these at Atlanta. As the tire wear will kick in, the field should start to spread out a little bit here. As Jeff James looks for 4 wide for the lead, but he backs out, has to hit the brake, and does what Marks did and pulls over below the apron to not risk wrecking his title-leading teammate. I think they would have been able to make that stick, but Jeff James, he basically didn't even want to even entertain the thought, which was a nice decision for Corey, but I can't imagine everyone behind is too thrilled about that one. Last year's champion battling with this season's 2 championship contenders. As Breeding finally gets passed by Corey Williams and the 14 takes the lead for the first time. Corey Williams coming off a very impressive win at Milwaukee. And his championship adversary, Christian Vargas, sits right there behind him in second. Corey Williams can lock up the title if Vargas fails to score or gain 7 points on the 14. As it stands, Corey Williams would have a tiebreaker advantage as the stats run at this time. But if Vargas wants to have a shot, he's going to have to beat the 14 and probably a win or a second place, and or it's probably going to be the absolute bare minimum that's going to be acceptable for this 51 team today. And Corey Williams, he is one of the all-time best intermediate racers in the Hardee's National Series, so going to be a tough ask for Vargas, but he's in the mix here, keeping up with the 14. Although he probably would rather have that 9 out of the way. Trouble on the back straightaway. Anderson Reed's been spun. He's below the line as Marks takes evasive action. And Reed slides below the apron, but looks like he is okay. And I don't think anyone got any damage from that. And the caution has come out, so they will throw the caution for that. So Reed, an annoying but mostly harmless spin, as that would put the caution out for the first time today. Right as the field was kind of starting to spread out a little bit. And this is going to pack him right back up. See what happens here. Ooh, LaPrade and Reed just got to get off the corner. It looked like LaPrade might have come up from that angle into the 57. Here we go for the race off pit road. Kyle Collins with a really good stop. He's going to come out here. Corey Williams will keep the lead as Kyle Collins goes from 5th to 2nd on pit road. So a monstrous stop from the 41 team as Noah Hart in the 18. He's having trouble getting out of his box. And Hart looks like he's going to fall way down the order here as the rest of the field comes out of pit road. Ooh, they're trying to adjust something on the 18. They finally release Hart, and he will come out basically dead last behind Craig Popcrass. Ooh, Eric Rodriguez with a problem in the number 63. He's coming to pit road, reporting something is wrong inside the car. I'm not too sure what it is exactly, but Rodriguez is pulling over. They're about to take one to green here in a moment, but Rodriguez, he's in trouble. He kind of came out of pit road where he came in, so it was a solid stop from the 63 team, but they're looking underneath the car, and signs are not pointing in a very nice direction here. And it's done. They've called the car to be pulled over the wall. The 63 is done. A sudden mechanical failure for the 63 will knock Rodriguez out of the race just 14 laps in. Here we go for the restart. Corey Williams is your leader. Kyle Collins sits in 2nd after a great pit stop as the 41 team gained him 3 spots. And that's going to put Curtis Racing at a 1-2 here as we're going to restart on lap number 16. And we're back on the green here as Jeff James with a big start. He immediately jumps to the outside. Collins dives to the outside as well. Corey comes up to defend. Ooh, Collins, he's looking for the lead. He wants to take it here. It's not often we've seen Collins perform very, very well on intermediates, at least not consistently. But Collins, he throws it way deep to the inside. He wants the lead from the 14. Vargas also on the outside. Griffin, Labo, McDermott with a run here, looking for 3rd from the 51. Griffin had his best career oval finish at Milwaukee. He's looking to one-up it, preferably by 2 positions at least. But Collins in the 41 takes the lead from the 14 in a sudden lead change as Griffin now looks for the lead. He gets behind the 41. Collins comes down, tries to defend the position here, Collins is going to want to stick with his teammate. Here's Vargas, and Corey makes some slight contact. Vargas might have clipped the quarter panel of the 14, but they keep it going. Here's Julio Caesar in the 22. Making one of his part-time starts this year, driving for Fisher Motorsports as number 22. He'll be racing Atlanta today, and then he will finish out at the finale in Charlotte. And he's got quite the interesting situation that I don't think he was really expected to be a part of with the 22 team. They are in danger of falling outside the top 30 Norris points as it stands. Granted, a great finish a couple weeks ago helped them a little bit, but this has been a horrific second half of the year for this 22 squad. A team that won 4 races last year and was a title contender. They've just been not able to find success here. It's been a tough couple of races for Fisher Motorsports as a whole. Gallon Downey sitting here in 28th. You remember he won back at Autumn Hill pretty handedly. That was a pretty dominant win for the 12. But ever since that win, it's just been not much has gone this team's way. I have to imagine Downey has got to be frustrated with how this season has gone. Cody Goforth all of a sudden here, making a pass to the lead. Here comes James Nelson, a 9-3 on the bottom. 3 wide for the lead. Goforth and Collins. Ooh, this is dangerous to go 3 wide through a tri-oval, but they make it through. Nelson backs out. Goforth takes the lead. You have to imagine as Cody Goforth, this 92 team, they have got to be absolutely starving right now. After how close they've been to so many wins this year. Could today finally be that day? Goforth will be heading over to a very strong Shade Bianca racing team next year. But he would love to close out this breakout season that he's had for this team with a win. But the Curse Racing 41 is keeping him humble as they're going to go 3 wide again. Collins is fighting the 92 off, but Elson keeps sticking his nose. Ooh, something's got to give here at some point. It's backing the field up a little bit. Elson keeps peeking, but this battle for lead continues on. They are still side by side. Goforth is trying to clear the 41, and he does it. Noah Hart, he is struggling in this number 18 car right now. He had a really long pit stop there as they were adjusting something on the car. And I think something may have gone wrong for the 18 team, or something maybe, or some kind of setup, some kind of setup mishap or something must have happened, because Hart is just not quick. He is struggling to pass the cars here at the back as he picks off the 45 of Justin Henley for 36th. Noah Hart, the Georgia native, a lot of pressure to perform in front of his home crowd. He's got quite a ways to go here if he wants a chance at a win. And a lot of cars to pass. We mentioned before about Julio Caesar and his situation of trying to keep the 22 car in the top 30 Norris points here. Well, here is the top 30 Norris points battle as Tim Fiegel and Joshua Michaels. I tell you what, this Norris points battle has just been really interesting between these two. These two just always seem to find each other on the racetrack here. This second half of the season, they've just been magnets. The only times they get separated is when we get to the finish. Usually one of these two will find something. Right now, Fiegel trying to get into the top 20 in this race, but the pressure on this 87 team has got to be massive right now as they're trying to keep their owners' points hopes alive. You've got to make up around 22 points on Michaels, which with a win, that could basically erase it. But it's been such a great past couple of months for the 75 group. They've looked really quick. They've been contending for top 10s on the weekly, and that's a shocker considering how the season started for them. But they've just kept improving as the year has gone on. We're approaching the halfway point here, and you can see the tire wear kicking in here as cornering speeds have dropped around 10 miles an hour. It's around 3 seconds of fall off throughout the run here. As Goforth is now trying to hold off the 9 of Nick Breeding, who would like to get his lead back. You can see Corey Williams, your title leader, still with Vargas. Vargas is keeping himself near him at all times. But that stands where they are. Vargas is going to need more than a point. Let's go forth, continues to lead. Breeding, Ellison sitting behind. It's been kind of a Chevy show over these past couple of races. Shabian Yaka Racing and Curse Racing just occupying almost all their cars in the top 10 at the moment. You can see Ryan Butcher right there as well. So Chevy has locked up the manufacturer's title. Which was kind of a foregone conclusion, to be quite honest. Here's Craig Popcrass in the 43 for Lessard Enterprises. And they are struggling mightily here as Popcrass is 18 seconds from the lead and is 6 seconds behind the next car in front of him, which would be Daniel Bouchard in the 82. Meanwhile, Rowe and Henley are having a really intense battle for the all-important 38th position. So a couple guys here kind of just sticking in the back. You can see Hart still struggling to work his way forward. He is starting to pick up places, but not the pace I think he was hoping for. Gonna have to hope for a really good pit stop here to help make up this gap. For the lead, Nick Breeding underneath the 92 of Goforth. Goforth fights back on the outside. Breeding on the bottom here. Seems the 9 has picked up the pace here as the run has gone on. So I think Breeding's got a good long run car set up for today. Still side by side for the lead. Breeding does take the lead, but Goforth keeping his nose in there. But here comes Elson, the 93 now on the bottom for third. Looking for second from Goforth now as Breeding tries to clear the 92 off of turn 2. And, had to shut the door a little bit, but he does clear Goforth. But Goforth is all over his back bumper. They're 3 wide for second as Kyle Collins makes an aggressive move. Tire or not, they're racing like they still got fresh ones. Breeding has taken the lead. Here's the Curtis Racing train from 4th through 6th. It's a Chevy train also because you got Elson and Kev Shear. So the Curtis cars are in a SBR Oreo cookie at the moment. That was not a sponsorship plug. That was just the first cookie that came to my head. Here we go. Pit stops underway here as the 71 and 87 and 35 come to pit road. They will be the first ones to pit. Zachary DeLito coming off pit road. I guess that's actually wrong. He was the first one to pit along with Popcrass, but still. So Bishop is the first one to pit, so that would most likely mean we should be expecting the leaders here at any moment as the back quarter of the field has all come to pit road. Who else will follow suit? Go for it, dives to pit road, so he will surrender the spot here. As Christian Vargas with a hard entry into pit road, he's going to overtake the 92 with a very aggressive pit road entrance. That was nice by Vargas, very dangerous, but Vargas is, he's going to do everything he can to get some positions here. As, oh, we got trouble. Ricky Freeman Jr. and the 36 of Stover get together on pit road. Ooh, that was heavy damage for Freeman, and they're pulling the car aside to take a look at the damage. Dunlap is also with a problem in the 42. He's had his car parked on his pit stall as well. They're looking at something as well. Here come the rest of the leaders to pit road. Ooh, look at Breeding here. Ooh, Hanley's going to take up a spot between himself and the 14. That's going to put a little bit of a gap here. So Breeding's going to pit. Hanley just bought the 9 some time on pit road. We know this 9 team, they're not exactly the most stout on pit road. But have they managed to change that here? Nick Breeding was your leader, so we'll see where this cycles through. Here comes Collins with another good pit stop here. And the 9, it's going to beat the 14 out. So a good stop from the 9 team. A very much needed one. For the lead, RJ Bishop and Fiegel, who pitted first, they go flying right by the 9 as they come off of pit road. There goes Vargas and the others who pitted the lap prior. So a ton of time lost for those who stayed out as long as they could. So that's going to drop the 14 outside the top 10, and that will put RJ Bishop to the lead for the first time today. Fiegel now looking for the lead for the 71, but Bishop holds him off. This is a very aggressive strategy here. They have got track position and the lead, but they are going to be in some deep, deep trouble the longer this run goes. And that may not be the only problem, because if you look up there on the lap counter, these guys get about up to 33 to maybe 34 laps on a tank. And these guys pitted a couple laps ago, so these guys are going to be short on gas. So what they're hoping for is a well-timed caution to keep the track position, pending they can hold the positions they have. But they are gambling with fuel here, and it's going to be close for everyone else regardless, but for those two it's going to be difficult. Elson in third place here. Baskinger in the 97. He's now up to fourth. Lockrow pitted with Fiegel and Bishop. And he's holding up the 51. And I think Vargas is going to really want to make these passes quickly here. He's right now trapped with Robinson and Lockrow. There's Marks. He's up to 8th, but he pitted early. So there's Zachary DeLillo as well. He was the very first person to come to pit road. So that decision has moved him all the way from basically 35th all the way to 9th. So a good call if they can get the help they need. Corey Williams is now down to 13th. Nick Breeding, your leader at the time of the pit cycle, is now 11th. They're 5 seconds behind the lead. So they're going to have some work to do, but the tire wear should be in their favor to help catch the leaders here. But they're going to have to pass a lot of cars to do it. There's Freeman Jr. and LaPrade. Freeman had significant damage on the side that they had to fix, and LaPrade had an unrelated problem. So these two are going to return to the track about 5 laps down. It's going to be very frustrating for the 77 team and the 42 as well. Tim Fiegel has taken the lead from the 71, so Bishop falls to 3rd. And here comes James Elson in the 93 now, looking for the lead. He's got slightly fresher tires, and I think just a faster car in general. than these two. But right now, Fiegel, he's in a good position here as the leader, trying to get this 87 back in the top three North points. This call is very aggressive here, but I think they're basically just going for broke. Just do anything that can possibly work. As they're about to put Craig Popcrass a lap down, as Ellison goes from the outside, uses the momentum to get to the bottom. And he's all over the quarter panel of Fiegel. Looks for the lead down low, but they're going to catch Popcrass. Tim's going to want to try and put the 93 below him, but Popcrass is going to come to the outside, and Ellison's going to take the lead here at Atlanta. Ellison now leads. He's going to try and see if he can pull away from these guys. As Jake Baskinger catches this group here, and all these others are trying to catch as well. Corey Williams, he is already up to 8th place, and he has run the fastest laps on track right now. He is running about 3/10 quicker than James Ellison as at the moment. So Corey is coming. He actually did get past Breeding, so these two are beginning their ascent back through the order. Trouble! Richard Johnson has lost the engine in the 10 car! Oh, just off of turn 4, and this could be trouble. Richard trying to get the car down out of the way, but oh no, Lessard hits the back of him and puts him into the wall, and Brendan Beal gets collected in it. And here comes Haley, he's sliding through the oil, he hits the 10, and the caution has come out on lap number 60. Oh man, Richard Johnson, he pulled to the left. Lessard maybe didn't slow down enough, but caution has come out, and that will bunch the field back up. And that was a perfectly timed caution for everyone here who undercutted. And it will be enough gas for them to make it if they pit, so what a call by them here. Ellison's going to come to pit road. He has the lead, but I think he's willing to risk it here. But check this out. Baskinger stays out, as does the 14 of Corey Williams. We've got a couple of guys staying out here. These are the guys that pitted late. Voyle stays out. Shear stays out. Kukulon stays out. Collins stays out. Vargas comes to pit road. So Christian Vargas, second in points. He's come to pit road to put some tires on. And he wants an advantage on the 14. They're going to trade track position for tires. This is a heck of a call here. And a couple of guys, everyone's taking 2 tires here, so no 4-tire stops from, I don't think, anyone in the field, besides maybe the ones who got damaged. So Vargas comes and takes 2 tires. Ellison comes out first, but look at everyone who stayed out. Griffin, Lapo, McDermott, Goforth, James, LaPrade, Butcher, Poteet, Freeman. Well, remember, the 42 and the 77 are both several laps down, so they just pitted, so they don't need to pit. Reed, Collins, and others pitted, so Baskinger has taken the lead for the first time in the Hardee's National Series, this year at least. Let's watch this again with the 10. Just off of turn 4, the engine just gave out. Richard was running outside the top 20. As, ooh, Hernandez almost clipped him here. And Richard, he pulls over to the left here, and Hart has to make an evasive maneuver. And Lessard, oh, he was below the apron. He made the right decision, but went way too fast. Should have went to the outside, and Henley, he was sliding through the oil, and poor Brandon Beal, 2 Spartan cars involved in a wreck here. Beal had nowhere to go, in fairness to him. under caution here. And we believe Craig Popcrass is your lucky dog in the number 43. He just got put a lap down a couple of laps ago. And he's going to be right back in the mix. So Popcrass will go around to get back on the lead lap. Cameron Lessard lost a lap. So he was going to be able for lucky dog anyways because he was on the lead lap when the caution came out. Richard Johnson, I believe he is done as well with an engine failure. Going to be 17 or so laps to go here at the restart. Well, 18 laps to go, 17, 18. Jay Baskinger is your leader, and this is going to be very interesting. Several cars stayed out. Their championship leader, Corey Williams, taking a risk here. But everyone up to Ellison did not pit for tires. So the top 12 are taking a risk here. And everyone from Ellison on back took 2 tires or 4 if they were damaged. So this is going to be a scramble to the finish, as everyone should theoretically be good on fuel. Baskinger with a great launch on the restart. He pulls away ahead of the 14. But Baskinger, he's going to have Corey Williams to deal with here. And Corey's got the freshest tires of this group. But you can see the scramble here as Kyle Collins throws it beneath the 69 and the 11. And look at the scramble here. Here comes Tim Fiegel on the 87. Ellison got pushed out to the outside. And Ellison lost a spot as the 2 teammates get together. Go for it then, GLM. That was a close one. Fiegel on the 87. Taking those 2 tires and hoping to make it work. There's Jeff James in the 4. He throws it beneath on the bottom as well. Look at the scramble here. There's Vargas. He's in a hornet's nest. He is trying to work his way through this. But this is not an ideal place for him to be in. Look at this. 3 wide everywhere. A lot of these guys who stayed out, they're running into some trouble here. And it's causing this field to get backed up as we got out for the lead. Here comes the 14 beneath the 97. Kev Shear sticks his nose in there. He's now looking for the lead. 3 wide for the lead yet again. Baskinger and Corey fighting on the outside. Shear trying to get his way to the lead. But it's your title leader, Corey Williams, who takes the lead. Look at this behind. It is getting real ugly over here. There's Joshua Michaels and Fiegel. These 2 looking for, oh my goodness me. Oh, that was big contact for Butcher into Daniel Voiles, and they're in the wall. Big wreck in turn 4, and it's half the field, maybe the whole field. Christian Vargas is involved, the title contender, and several cars hard into the wall and beneath. As the caution has come out, and oh, they're still wrecking. Lessard and LePrade get together. A massive wreck with 13 laps to go here in Atlanta. And Christian Vargas, he was in the mix. He was in that hornet's nest. I don't think he had much place to go. Massive damage for the 51. It's not as bad as some others, granted. But oh boy, that has got to be so disheartening. Jay Baskinger surrenders the lead to come to pit road. So Baskinger's come in. And here comes everyone else with damage. Potee, Downey, both with heavy front damage. Commons as well. Breeding, who also led several laps today with significant damage. Fitzwater in the 33 with damage. Oh my goodness, almost everyone's got damage. Popcrass's hood is basically taller than the rest of the car. And several cars kind of pit road. Ellison, he had such a great day today. He's now got heavy damage. And look at the wounded cars scattered throughout this field. DeLello's got massive left side damage. I can't believe he didn't pit. A massive wreck in turn 4 has just changed this entire race. Let's see what happens here. Ooh, Butcher and Voiles get together. Voiles gets knocked into Laprade. Laprade just trying to hold on. And look at the massacre that happens in turn 4. And just nowhere to go for so many people. A couple of guys forgot how a brake pedal works, like Popcrass. And then something happens here with Lassard as him and Laprade just get together off of 4 and cause more damage for themselves. And that'll be the end of Lassard. Beal with heavy damage, insult to injury for the 91 after getting involved in that first incident. Let's watch from the perspective of Vargas here. Just look how he got caught in this. Just nowhere to go. Look at that. That is massive. A huge wreck. Almost everyone from 13th on down basically got drilled. Or got at least a part of it. So this was the battle for 6 is what caused this wreck here. So let's see what happens. Ooh, Butcher, he just threw it too hard into the corner. Just clipped the back of the 11. And oh man, that was big. And Tim Fiegel in the 87. Remember, he's 31st in owners points. They got the perfectly timed caution, but they just got involved in yet another incident here. And that has got to be so frustrating for Fiegel and Standards Performance Autosport. Looked like they were in the driver's seat for a really strong points day, and it is gone. And their chances of getting back into the top 30 Norris points has taken perhaps a lethal injection here. Get that reference? A+ to you. Well, what is there to say? We have seen over the years across all FBRL series some very big and some very nasty wrecks here at Atlanta. That certainly was one of them. And the amount of cars involved and out, it's a lot to count. Everyone up here is relatively safe and unwounded. It's when you get to Butcher that things get a little ugly. Butcher with hard left side damage. Despite being the arguably cause of the wreck, he did not suffer too bad, all things considered. Griffin Lade McDermott, he took some damage as well on the right side. There's the 7 of Ricky Freeman. He's 5 laps down, but they've given him the wave around lucky dog, so he will be 4 laps down, which will ensure he finishes ahead of Laprade, but it's not going to mean too much, I think, to him. Harrison Reed, we saw his onboard. He actually managed to escape with very little damage, if any, so good job by Reed. But this is where things get a little nasty. Vargas has elected not to pit, so they're going to count on the tires and hope the damage was not severe enough to hinder the car too much. But look at this, Voiles. Not much he could have done. But look at the string of cars with heavy damage. DeLello with damage. Pratt, Lockrow, everyone's just got heavy damage. Rowe with damage. Commons has taken the hood off, so they just ripped it right off. But we are now 1 to green here in Atlanta, and we'll be restarting with 10 laps to go. This is roughly everyone who is out. Dylan Poteet in the 83. Beal, the 91. The 12 of Downey. The 33 of Fitzwater. The 87 of Fiegel. The 43 of Popcrass, the 36 of Brad Stover, and Cameron Lessard all out after a massive big one here at Atlanta. And we will be starting with 10 to go. It will be a 10-lap dash following one of the largest wrecks this year. And Corey Williams is in position to lock up this title with 10 to go. He's got Shear, Kukulon, Collins, Michaels behind, and we are back under green for hopefully the final time today. Corey with a launch of the century. He blasts off through turns 1 and 2. And he's got a lot of friends behind him here. Corey is your leader. Shear making a run here as, Collins gets slid. He slid up the top to the racetrack. I wonder if tires are starting to hurt the 41. But here comes the 75 of Michaels and a 72 of Adam Verlaine in the Singles E-Racing car. He got through the wreck basically unscathed, and he put tires on at the last caution before this, and he's now up to third. Here comes Bishop. Remember, Bishop was on the strategy that Figo was, but he avoided the wreck, so he's got fresher tires as well. Here comes the 72 in Verlaine. He passes the 0 of Shear with basically no effort. For the lead, the 72 of Verlaine is looking for the lead. With 8 laps to go. Bishop follows through. He was up there at the lead at one point, and he is now back. But how about this? Verlaine in the 72 has all of a sudden gotten the lead, and he's put a bit of a gap on the 71 already. It is a scramble through this field. There's no Hardee in the 18. Remember, he is recovering from a terrible pit stop, and I think whatever issues they had with that car, I think it's fixed because Hardee's looking a lot quicker right now. Corey Williams in 4th. He doesn't have to win this. He would want to, but he doesn't have to. He is just trying to hold this position. Christian Vargas is down back there in the 51. He is trying to pass these guys here, but he is running out of time. Coming up on 6 laps to go. Adam Verlaine is in the lead here. I don't think anyone could have predicted this. He's got Bishop and Joshua Michaels looking for his best career finish for himself and this team. And it's the same case for Verlaine, but this is just unbelievable here. He is keeping a gap to Bishop. It's feeling a little eerily similar to last year. Remember, last year Atlanta, it was Patrick Smith in SD Motorsports that scored the upset win. It was the biggest upset of that season. And Verlaine looking to run it back, but for himself and Single Z Racing here, a team that has come so close to wins this year. So many 2nd to 3rd place finishes. They've had so many top 5s, but haven't been able to close the deal. And this is their best chance yet. But he's got to hold off Some of the most experienced drivers here. Bishop, he's got so many starts. Joshua Michaels, a journeyman. This is not going to be easy, and he's coming up on 3 laps to go. Michaels now looking for second. This is exactly what the 72 wants. He needs these two to battle. But look at Michaels. That 75's got some speed to it here. He's trying to see if he can make a run at the 72, but Bishop fights him back. And look at this. Noah Hart is now up to 4th, and he is running some very quick laps. He is running these guys down. Hart is coming. Robinson's coming. Coming to 2 laps to go here. We are on upset alert here in the Hardee's National Series. Adam Verlaine, the 18-year-old, stunned the world when he got that top 10 for Spartan Motorsports in Kentucky. Single Z Racing put together this ride for him. It has been a difficult season, to say the least. They have failed to qualify for races. They will not get this car in the top 30 Norris points. But this could be a season redemption as the white flag comes out. Verlaine has just got to hold on for 1 more lap here. Here comes Bishop with a run through 1 and 2. He powers through the corner. It's going to come down to these two. Here comes Bishop to the bottom. He's going to try and sneak the win away. Through turns 3 and 4, Bishop tries to push himself through, but with the run up the outside, Adam Verlaine pulls off the upset as himself and Single Z Racing win for the first time. And across the line, Corey Williams finishes 7th, and he has won the 2023 FBRL Hardee's National Series Championship. But the story of the day, the massive upset that no one could have seen coming, it's Verlaine who pulls off a magical win. Bishop finishes 2nd again. Joshua Michaels with the best finish of 3rd. Little Falls Motorsports may have officially clinched themselves a spot at Daytona next year. Noah Hart had a run, but he ran out of time. Major Robinson comes across for 5th, his best career finish. Stuart Gratton comes across the line for 6th. Corey Williams wins the title, finishing 7th as Vargas was not able to make up the gap. Julius Caesar in the 22 finishes 8th. Shocker after running in the back for most of the day, but they survived. Anderson Reed in the 57, he was involved in the first caution of the day. He got spun, but he avoided all of the wrecks afterwards, and he just got himself his first career top 10. And another top 10 for Little Falls Motorsports' number 57. Kev Shear finishes 10th. Well, yeah, finishes 0 in 10th. Makes sense. Christian Vargas ends up 15th, but he has come up short, and his title hopes are over. Let's watch this final lap one more time. Bishop got such a great run off at turns 1 and 2. He got a big run down the back straightaway. Look at the drafting power of the 71. The Turner aerodynamics came into play. But Verlaine just had to hug that middle, and he held on for dear life. Unbelievable finish here. So many people who pitted for tires wrecked. Verlaine was one of the very few who didn't. And that just paid off in a way I don't think he could have ever expected. And after Goforth and GLM have come so close to wins for Single Z Racing, who could have predicted it would have been Verlaine to be the one to break the winless barrier for this team. Big upsets for Julius Caesar 22, massive for their owners' points. Just stayed out of the way. Got them a top 10. Anderson Reed, we mentioned what a comeback for the 57 to get back into the top 10. But Corey Williams is your champion, and they are celebrating like crazy on pit road as the all-time HNS wins leader has at long last won a championship that has eluded him for so many years. And he will get to head to Charlotte with no pressure and no stress. Before we take you to the results, we weren't able to cover this because we were too busy checking on the lead, but Ryan Butcher and Kyle Collins, these two did not have enough fuel to make it to the end, so they came in at 2 to go to top off. Ryan Reed, Voiles, they also ran out of gas, so several cars unable to make the distance needed, and it cost them several positions and several points.